Hi guys, thanks a lot for joining. I'm Yashika Patodia, a pre-final undergraduate at IIT Kharagpur, and I'm currently pursuing computer science engineering. Today we have Ayushi with us. Thanks a lot, Ayushi, for joining.
Thank you, Yashika.
Without much ado, I would like to introduce her. Ayushi is a final year undergraduate at NIT Silchar, and she's currently doing her 6-month internship with Amazon as an SD intern. And she was also selected for Microsoft Engage program in the year 2021. She holds a full-time offer from Microsoft as well. She has interned with MasterCard India in the last year, and she loves to solve problems and deep dive on new technologies. In a leisure time, you will probably find her with a book by Brian. So thank you, Ayushi. Would you like to add anything else to your introduction? Something which I have missed.
Thank you so much, Yashika. That was an amazing introduction. Super sweet. I wouldn't really want to add anything. I guess we can start now.
Great. So you have been selected as a Microsoft Engage mentee, right? So could you please brief us about what exactly is this opportunity and when does the application start and who all are eligible for this particular opportunity?
Sure. So Microsoft Engage was the opportunity, like it was in the last year. I applied for it, and it's for the final year students who are interested to get an FTE with Microsoft. And generally what I saw was this opportunity was for getting the full-time offer with Microsoft, but they also give you a chance to learn with the help of the mentorship program which they provide. So you get to learn from the people who are SDs in Microsoft. They'll be your mentor. You have to create a project which meets the standards of like the SD development. So I guess that was it, and that's what it was about. That's in short, and we can discuss more later.
Yeah, great. So when does the application start? Like in which month? Do you remember? When did you start applying?
Yeah, so right. So generally the applications roll out for almost everything in the month of July, August, and September. So the Engage applications were also out for around a month, and they like continued till later as well. So I applied in the month of August, as far as I remember, and I got the link of the test. So it was not a direct link. Somebody approached me on LinkedIn. First of all, they were interested in taking the application forward, and I gave them my resume. When they were appealed by the resume, they gave me the test link for the Microsoft Engage, and the test link contained when I gave the test, it had 2 coding questions, followed by which I had to when I passed the test, I had to go for the Engage mentorship program, which was around 20 to 25 days, after which it was my interview call.
So it was around a 1 month application process, right?
So the application started in the month of August, and I gave the test in the month of October, September. And then the mentorship program was in November. So it was around the 3-month process, followed by the mentorship program and then the interviews.
Yeah, for which you got a full-time offer at Microsoft as well.
Correct.
So how did you prepare for this opportunity? What was your strategy?
Okay, so that my main strategy for preparing for any jobs which I applied was mainly the DSA, and for DSA I mean GFG and LeetCode. These were the 2 main the main sources which everyone uses. I use the same. You have more topics like trees, graphs, because these are in these the test which I gave, the difficulty level you could say was around medium LeetCode. So you have to prepare accordingly. There are topics like trees and graphs, stacks, queues, and dynamic programming. Not very high level dynamic programming, but yeah, at least you should know basic. Then the different types of traversals and different sort of tree traversing techniques, the BSTs, etc., etc. These were the main topics which I focused on. Greedy as well. These were the topics which I focused on. I practiced the same from LeetCode, and the theory I looked up from GFG. And there was this one book named by Narasimha Karumachi. So that was also one of the helpful book for me. Right. That's it.
We already discussed about the tasks which were given, right? Like you had a coding interview before you had to give some tests as well. And the first part was resume shortlisting. So apart from that, were
Right.
any other tasks given during the application process?
Yeah, so the first thing was the application, which was in the month of August. The second thing came was the resume shortlisting. I was approached from one of the SDs, or sorry, one of the recruiters from on LinkedIn, Microsoft itself. Then after the resume shortlisting, it was the coding test, which had two coding questions, followed by which I had the mentorship program. In the mentorship program, I was given one project. So this project was common for everyone, and we could use whichever tech stack which we wanted to. It could be MERN, it could be Android, anything, whichever you're familiar with. So I personally chose MERN stack, and we had to create a basic project. In those days, you have to like put your like developer skills and a bit of innovation so that your projects should stand out a bit. So we were given around 20-25 days, and we could have hosted it on any any like hosting site. And then we had to submit a video demo of our project along with the wherever we have hosted our site, the link. And yeah, that was it. So the mentorship program started on 9th of November and it ended around 28th of November. So yeah, it was around 20 days we had to do that project. And within after 10 days of submitting my demo the site, I got the call for interview. I got shortlisted for the that I have like secured I have done the engage, it's completed, and I can go forward with the interviews. And I had my interviews in the month of January.
So, how was your personal experience? Like, I'm sure you would have learned a lot, and it was a great learning experience.
Definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, like when we do projects in college, we tend to not stick to a timeline, right? Most of the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
we know that we have to do a project and we'll stretch it for these many months. So I knew that I have to do it in 20 days. And I hadn't done a lot of web development before. I had worked on different technologies, but not web development much. So it was like a great exposure for me. I learned a lot, and it was like in a very short span. So yeah, and having that sort of deadline in front of you, that really helped me to learn a lot in those days.
So, what is your advice for grabbing this opportunity for your juniors?
So to grab this opportunity, I would say there are two things. First one is to crack the opportunity, and the second one is to ace the opportunity. For cracking the opportunity, I would say it's important that we should have the like you should ace the coding interview. For that, you need to be good with DSA. You need to be good with your computer fundamentals as well. So it's important that you work on those things. You work on your concepts and everything. The way I said, all the topics which I mentioned, these things are available almost everywhere, on the internet. Wherever you go, you'll like get an idea what all need to do for these coding interviews. So, and you can give various mock tests as well. A lot of mock tests are available, so you can try giving that as well. So this is it for acing the coding interview. And then when it comes to the project part, you need to be like a bit aware of the technologies. It's mostly development, so it would be great if you do some projects beforehand. You have a little bit of idea, and the mentors are obviously there to help you out if you get stuck in that period. So it would be great if you are familiar with a few technologies and you work on different sorts of tech stacks, so that you have a good exposure and you ace the engagement mentorship program as well. And eventually, if you ace that program, you will get the interview calls. And the interview calls will again require you to prepare well and be good with DSA and so like computer fundamentals and system design as well. All these experience will come when you study DSA and all. Then you do projects and everything. You will get the hang of all of these things gradually.
So, during the interview, do they ask specific system designing question, or it's just the experience which you had before? So, you mentioned that people need to learn system.
Yeah, so they do ask system design questions. I was asked a few questions in my third round of interview. In the first two rounds, it was mainly DSA. Third round had it had HR as well and system design as well, and a bit of computer fundamentals too.
Like OOPS and all.
So correct. Oops, DBMS and SQL and all.
So, what is your advice for performing well as a mentee for juniors who want to grab a full-time opportunity at Microsoft?
So if you have to like perform well as mentee, I would suggest like in whichever you are, doesn't matter. You have a lot of resources out there. You have a lot of help. You can start like doing projects. If you don't get stuck, you won't be able to learn as well. So get stuck, learn new things, and yeah, do as many projects as you can. Don't just stick to one particular technologies. People they become better at one technology and they think that I'll do projects on the same one. This is the time you get, this is the time to get more exposure. So it's important you like experiment and learn new things so that you have a good idea of how things are working, and eventually you can ace the interview as well, and I mean the engage mentorship program. So that's my advice for the mentorship program.
Do you want to add anything else apart from Microsoft Engage? Any other opportunity which you applied for and got selected for the juniors?
I would suggest like, see, whichever opportunity we apply for, mostly it's DSA that matters. It's your computer fundamentals, as I mentioned, your projects and everything. And you should be good with your I would say like you should ace the HR part as well. I have seen a lot of people who have done good in technical rounds, but there are situations when they are not good with the HR part and they lose or they don't get the opportunity. So you should be like study about the industry, whichever you are giving interview for. If it's Microsoft, study a bit about it. If it's Amazon, study a bit about the leadership principles and all, because they do ask those things there. They need to see what sort of person you are, how exactly do you work. Amazon, so even they give you such questions related to leadership principle in your coding tests as well. So it's important to know the company before applying, and like giving a few mock tests to know what exactly they'll be asking, reading a few interview experiences so that you know what you're going into. So these are a few advices, general advices for whichever company people are applying. And I have heard a lot of juniors say how exactly to know where to get all of these opportunities, how to get the notifications and all. So follow people on LinkedIn. There are people who keep notifying about the different opportunities that are coming forward. There are a lot of applications as well. I personally used an app called Mentee. So I used to get updates on whichever applications were out. So that's an amazing app. You all can download that as well. So yeah, this is what my advice for everyone. And yeah, take care of yourself as well, because that's most important.
Thanks a lot, Ayushi. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Yashika, for calling me. It was a great pleasure to talk to you today.
Me too. Yeah, same here. I hope this helps a lot of juniors who are aspiring to work at Microsoft.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good luck to everyone.